Hello everyone, I am Surrendalot the Awesome, and I'm back, and I'm ready to look at some more Oh No Consequences. But before I get started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and if I can't convince you, perhaps this picture of my cats will convince you. And random fact about my cat society is that the Ministry of Torture and Oppression there is basically just the ministry that gives hugs and love to everyone. And also before I get started, don't forget to check out my other channel, Surrendalot Reviews, where I do video game, movie, and show reviews, and I'll leave a link in the description down below. And without further ado, let's get into this. So his first post here says, classic Oh No Consequences Sunday. Controlling parents are surprised their son wants no contact with them. And this person here says, hello, thank you so much for accepting my request. I would like some help and possibly condolences from those who have been through similar. Some of my friends recommended the group to me and said it might help. Our son turned 21 last month and is starting his 4th year of college. Well, good for him. He's probably doing pretty well for himself and you must be proud. Anyways, this person goes on to say, we had a big fight on Monday and he is not talking to us. He told us he did not want to be tracked anymore. I mean, he's 21 in his 4th year of college. I'm sure he's doing very well for himself and he doesn't really need to be tracked anymore. I mean, he's not a dear leader in my cat society. Anyways, this person goes on to say, we tried to reason with him and remind him that these apps have helped so many families, like when kids get into accidents, and he goes to a school across the country in a dangerous area, but he insisted that we are just exaggerating about the danger and that he was going to delete all the apps no matter what. We told him okay, but we are paying for tuition, housing, flights home, and phone bills, so he needed to keep the tracking on. He then got all quiet and said okay, and that we could take him off of the phone plan, and he would take us off the tuition portal. My husband and I were shocked. My husband asked, don't you think that's a bit extreme? After all, we have such a good system going. My son then said fine, he would pay us back for the tuition we paid for, and that was that. Well, it sounds like your son is becoming independent, and it sounds more like you probably could maybe, I don't know, accept his request to not track him anymore. That maybe would prevent this whole thing. Anyways, this person goes on to say, we thought he was joking, but we cannot access the tuition portal. We also don't see any activity on our phone line for his line. I thought he was acting out, but then yesterday night, he sent back all the tuition and housing we paid for, roughly $25,000, since we had a generous needs scholarship, and he has been working during the school year. We tried to reach out, but he also blocked us on everything. Well, it sounds like you probably maybe should have accepted his request to not track him anymore. That could probably prevent this whole thing. Anyways, this person here goes on to say, we are so sad and confused. I don't get it. If you asked me last week, I would have said that we had a great relationship with our child. Well, maybe you probably don't need to track him if you have such a great relationship. Maybe give him some independence and, you know, take the tracking off. Just drop it. Anyways, this person goes on to say, the tracking issue hasn't come up in years. We had a stern meeting his freshman year, and there were some ups and downs in general. He ditched the major he was passionate about since he was 8, but things straightened out. Well, maybe he didn't really... Well, maybe it's not really a thing of he didn't have an issue with it. It's more of a thing of he was biding his time, shall we say. Anyways, this person goes on to say, I don't know where this came from. My husband is mad at me. He wanted our son to go to our flagship an hour away, but our son got so much aid from his current school, which is also much more prestigious, so it didn't make sense. My husband is saying that once he left for college, it made it easier for him to leave our family. For example, all of our friends' kids came home for break. Well, maybe your friends probably are not as hyper-controlling of their children as you are. Did you ever maybe consider that as a possibility? Anyways, this person goes on to say, but our son only came back for 1 week each summer because he was going abroad first year and then doing internships for the next 2 summers. My husband's point is that with our son so far away from us at all times, we could not keep up and really know who he was growing up to be. I honestly can't argue with him. We just found out this summer he had been dating a girl for 9 months. Well, maybe he didn't want you to know for some reason because, considering who you kind of are. Anyways, this person goes on to say, and I still don't know how he got this money. I know he has worked, but a lot of that money has gone straight into his portion of food and lodging. Well, maybe he's a lot more independent than you give him credit for. Anyways, this person here goes on to say, I'm sorry this is all over the place. Our family is so stressed with this turn of events. Plus, we don't know what our son might be saying to our younger two. Both are in high school. We asked them if they have heard anything from him, and they both said no, but clearly they looked like they were covering something up. And I am so stressed where he got that money from. Well, maybe he's been planning this for a while, and maybe he was just trying to give like an olive branch out saying, hey, can you please not track me? And you decide to swat that olive branch away. I mean, maybe, like I said, he's probably more independent than you give him credit for, and maybe he's trying to seek this independence. Anyways, this person goes on to say, what should we do? Should we fly out there and find him? Call a friend or roommate? The more time that passes, the more anxious I feel. Can someone who has been in this kind of situation before please advise? Thank you. Well, I think probably, I don't know, respecting his wishes might be the best course of action. I mean, I'm just saying. And this person down here in the comments says, hire a private investigator to see if they can find him and figure out what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah, don't do this. I'm gonna probably give this, probably a 50 out of 50. Yeah, person, what you're doing is literally causing your son to not want to have a relationship with you, and if you keep trying to push it, then yeah, you're basically gonna cause more of that to happen, and it might get you in more trouble down the road. And I think with that, that's gonna do it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.